Logan shoots, scores! It's Joe Pavelski! On Justin Vaughn, Sharks 2-on-1 back the other way. Pavelski shoots, saves, they score! It deflects in! It's 4-1! He's got a man over Marlowe. Score! Patrick Marlowe on the breakaway! Time for our Honda starting goaltenders here in Minnesota. Antti Niemi coming off a win in Denver on Tuesday night. He was fantastic at times and perfect in the shootout, stopping both Avalanche shooters. Darcy Kemper looking for the bounce back game. He was in net for all 5 goals at Madison Square Garden on Monday and did not play against Boston Tuesday. Todd McLellan, one of those individuals with the Sharks connected with Minnesota. He coached their minor league teams in Cleveland and Houston from 2000 to 2005. There's Mike Yeo, the head coach now in his 4th year with the Wild, a Stanley Cup champion, as McLellan is. Yeo was an assistant on the 2009 Pittsburgh Penguins staff that won it all. First meeting of the season between the Sharks and Minnesota. We're underway. Randy Hahn with Jamie Baker here in St. Paul, and we're glad you're along on this Thursday afternoon in the Bay Area here on Comcast Sportsnet California, which has seen a wild 24 hours of sports for Bay Area fans with the Giants capturing the World Series last night. We were all part of that vicariously here in the Twin Cities area, all of us who gathered to watch Game 7, and now our focus turns here to the Sharks in the final game of this 3-game road trip, looking to sweep all 3. Marco Scandella sends it across for Nate Prosser for Minnesota. The Wild coming in with a record of 5-3 in the Central Division. They are perfect so far at home, 3-0 here at XL Energy Center.
Yeah, they're perfect at home, 3-0. San Jose, perfect against Western Conference teams, 4-0.
And an icing call here will take it back into the Shark zone as we look at the Xfinity lines and keep an eye especially on the 4th line. That's the big change here tonight for the San Jose Sharks as rookie Barclay Goodrow makes his debut wearing number 89, and it's his first National Hockey League game, signed by the Sharks this past offseason as an undrafted free agent, had a terrific training camp. There is Barclay Goodrow, and what a thrill for him tonight as the shot from the blue line deflected off the stick of Ryan Suter on the shot. That could have been trouble, but got wide of the net, and the Wild right on it again as Jason Zucker plays it to the crease, and Niemi grabs it there as the Wild come out quickly here with a couple of scoring chances inside the first minute.
Well, you got 2 teams that score first often, and so something's going to give. The Wild this year, they've scored the first goal in 7 of the 8 games. Their record's 5-2. San Jose, they've scored the first goal in 8 of their games so far. They're 6-1-1.
Charlie Coyle, the former Shark draft pick, you see him there as you see the Minnesota forward lines and defense pairs. Had a great scoring chance there on the doorstep on that pass from Zucker as it's chased down now by Logan Couture for the Sharks to Patrick Marleau. Couture got a rough ride down at the end boards. Back to try and retrieve it for San Jose, and it's backhanded by Zach Parise, and now the Wild come ahead. Demers able to sweep it away before it got to a dangerous area. And Suter, the ice time leader in the National Hockey League, a position he held for the last 2 years running, and he's on top of the heap again early in this season. Here's Parise, Granlund a shot, Niemi with the save, and the former Minnesota first-round draft pick James Shepherd out now for the Sharks as the rink-wide pass is broken up by Suter. Back to Matt Nieto against Suter, cuts into the zone, and Tierney trying to set up the trailing defenseman there on the play, Marc-Edouard Vlasic. It's Suter still out there in the corner, played to Nino Niederreiter, number 22. He can't get it out. Suter again, overskated by Tierney, and that'll give Minnesota the chance to come out, and they'll bang it off the glass through center ice.
If these first few shifts are any indication, we're going to have a fast-paced game here tonight. This Wild team, one of the fastest teams in the NHL, one of the youngest, 10th youngest teams. Young, fast, skilled, disciplined.
Across the line is Thomas Vanek trying to play it to the goal crease. That's kicked out of there, and now the Sharks come ahead 3-on-2. A pass for Goodrow, but it's in his skates. Now he comes back after it, and it's back in the possession of the Wild as it's flipped ahead by Kyle Brodziak. A quick re-entry, but Desjardins can't catch it. Darcy Kemper will backhand it around, try and get it out of trouble up to Fontaine. A shot from the point there by Mirko Mueller blocked, and Minnesota quickly re-attacking. Stefan Veilleux just today called up from Iowa in the American League for Minnesota with the shot, but the puck held by Niemi as we look at our Lexus keys to the game.
Well, we take a look at Barclay Goodrow as he heads off the ice. Congratulations on his first NHL game tonight. He, along with the other Sharks, want to win the short races. If you win the short races, you establish body position, you have a better chance to outnumber. Focus for 60. Consistency has been an issue for the Sharks this year. It's been better the last couple of games. They're going to need it against this Wild team. They've been tremendous all year, minus that 1/3 period against the Rangers. That's still in their minds. They're going to play 60 full minutes.
A near turnover there by Mueller, but it went through the neutral zone, and Spurgeon will send it back into his end for Suter. Chased down by Joe Thornton. Sharks top line on the ice. Backhanded by Ryan Carter for Minnesota. Now Burns, leading point getter among all defensemen in the NHL. And of course, a former first-round pick here in Minnesota. Wild come ahead through center. Carter, and then the return pass intercepted by Thornton. He's got Pavelski open at the line. Joe Pavelski shoots, and he just missed wide as Kemper came out to challenge him.
Yeah, nice heads-up play by the Sharks. Good back check, creating the turnover. Pavelski read it perfectly, had a nice scoring chance there.
Now the Sharks get a change and get it deep. Logan Couture chasing it down against number 44, Justin Falk. Scott Cannon gets across. It's away from Coyle, but then the shot by Wingels hits a skate on its way through as Koivu is checked by Tommy Wingels, who leads the Sharks, Wingels does, in shots on goal and in hits. And he and Couture come across together. Here's Wingels, and he can't catch it, or he had a great scoring chance there. Now Koivu banks it back around for Prosser, and the Wild will come out and ahead as Falk sends it further up for Zucker. He'll dump it in, and Minnesota gets a line change. They're out shooting the Sharks early here, 4-1, just inside the 5-minute mark played here in the first period at XL Energy Center in downtown St. Paul, Minnesota. Tomas Hertl, a touch of the puck, but it's sent deep once more by the Wild. Dustin Braun, a native of Minneapolis. Now Pavelski looking for the pass at center, goes behind him. Scandella back behind the net. It is number 55, Matt Dumba. And a near interception by Hertl, and now Hertl battling for it, has it on the near boards. Trying to work it to Thornton, but Parisi sends it back across. Dumba into the zone where it's poked ahead by Scandella.
San Jose's been getting a stretch player up in the neutral zone as we see a pass to Tierney, and one of the reasons they're doing it is trying to spread out the Minnesota Wild. That negates some of their team speed.
Knocked down by Shepard, and it bounces to the glove of Kemper, and he'll hold it there.
Well, San Jose's got their work cut out for them tonight, and San Jose's played well the last two games. Very impressed with the effort against Colorado. The grade A scoring chances, probably the most they've had all season. Matt Nieto, he's playing great. We talked to Todd McClellan about him again this morning. He thinks he's been one of the most consistent players for the San Jose Sharks. He's got 9 block shots, 25 shots on net this year, averaging over 16 minutes, and he'll be on the scoreboard a little bit more, Matt Nieto will be.
As you mentioned, Sharks perfect against Western Conference opponents so far this year. They started the season with back-to-back wins over LA and Winnipeg, then the victory on Sunday in Anaheim, and on Tuesday in Colorado, trying to make it 5 straight here against this Western Conference Minnesota Wild team.
This is the Wild's 9th game.
Here's a breakaway opportunity now for Brodziak, and Niemi makes the save. What a stretch by Antti Niemi as he stops the breakaway from Kyle Brodziak. Mueller slipping it back in, and you see the quickness there of Minnesota in transition there as they got Brodziak in alone. Now a battle behind the Wild net. Tierney couldn't center it, and it's cleared out by Minnesota. Tracking back is Mueller with Burish, but they'll call icing.
Neutral zone face-off. Minnesota wins it. Just one pass. And Brodziak takes off. The center can't release him in that situation. Tierney, you got to box him out just for a second. And to the rescue is Antti Niemi. We're going to see Antti Niemi. What a save. Looks like Brodziak actually fumbled the puck just before releasing. He wants to put that thing upstairs. And Niemi saves the bacon of the Sharks. That's too easy of a scoring chance from the San Jose Sharks to give up off a neutral zone faceoff loss.
Niemi coming off a 31-save win in Colorado, and before that, the 33-save victory at Anaheim. Working his third straight game as Couture dives after the loose puck. Pominville there watching him as Couture has it in the corner. Logan Couture back for Marleau, across for Hannon, in front, loose puck, and they score! Jason Demers off the rebound, and it's 1-0 Sharks. But wait, what's the referee saying? I think they're disallowing this goal.
Well, Jason Demers, back January 30th, 2010, he scored 2 goals. That was against the Wild. That's the only 2-goal game. He's hoping that this is going to count. We're going to figure it out.
We'll be back in Minnesota. Well, they have disallowed the goal here on goaltender interference, Jamie Baker.
Well, from the one look, it doesn't look like there was any interference. And then you can see Logan Couture collides with Kemper's leg right there. And one of the things the referees are doing this year when they're positioned in the defensive zone is not necessarily always following the puck. They're going to watch for traffic around the front of the net for that exact reason.
So that contact, we assume, between Couture and the right leg pad of Darcy Kemper is the contact that resulted in that goal by Jason Demers being disallowed. So we are still scoreless here in the first period at Minnesota. Would have been Demers first. Now the Sharks, Justin Braun for Adam Burish, and he can't get that one through the skates of Granlund. Vlasic back perfectly to Marleau, and this is Andrew Desjardins. He'll skate it in alone to Minnesota territory against Ryan Suter. Braun pushing Parisi off the puck as Wingle snaps it down low for Patrick Marleau. Marleau back out to Wingles. In comes Couture, and a great save by Kemper.
Wingles saw Couture, who was coming on a change, late change in the mid to high slot area. Good chance.
Wingles again, Marleau all alone, and stopped by Darcy Kemper. Patrick Marleau, one-on-one against the netminder and just unable to beat him.
Well, Couture's been playing just some absolutely phenomenal hockey as of late. 5 goals in the last 7 games. There's a great shot after a nice dish from Wingles, and then Marleau picks up some loose change hanging around the front of the net. Just kind of sweeps at it. Kemper does a good job of coming across, taking away the bottom part of the net. That's a good shift for the Sharks' second line.
Marleau with 35 career points in 50 games in his NHL career against the Wild. As Thornton's shot off the faceoff win was blocked, and now the Wild get it going the other way. Zucker broken up neatly by the rookie Mueller. Now Zucker again. He's got Coyle and Koivu with him. And the shot saved by Niemi. Rebound still alive for Niemi to cover with his glove.
Koivu has struggled this year. He's only got 1 goal. No assists in 8 games. Nice drive there by Zucker, who's had a couple of chances early. And Niemi hanging tight on that left post. Made a good save. Getting a little bit of end-to-end action here early in the first period.
Zucker's a guy to watch, number 16 for Minnesota. His 5 goals lead the team, and he's on a 3-game point streak.
They got 6 guys that are on point streaks, 4 of them on 3-game streaks. He's one of them with 3 goals, 1 assist, and 4 points the last 3 games.
Scandella, and now played up by Dumba. Here's Demers. Leaves it behind the net. Tierney quickly up for Shepherd. He couldn't get it out. And now Charlie Coyle behind the San Jose net. Coyle, a centering pass. Koivu, and it bounced off Niemi and then off Zucker, who wins a battle in the corner to center it again. Dumba shoots, saved by Niemi. Taken by Koivu as he gave the head fake. Centers it to the goal mouth, and Niemi dives out and grabs it. And the Sharks having trouble sorting it out in their own end there after a giveaway. Well, the Giants World Series parade is tomorrow, and you can watch it on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, and also watch it online at csnbayarea.com. It's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the third parade down Market Street in 5 years. We'll have exclusive interviews on the orange carpet as well. Why watch anywhere but on the home of your 2014 world champion, San Francisco Giants, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area.
Yeah, congratulations to the Giants organization. My buddy Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, and what? They're a dynasty, 3-5. I think we got to be talking about dynasty. Amazing stuff.
I don't care what pro sport it is. If you win 3-5, that
today's
is
day
with
and age,
salary caps,
yeah,
etc. It is quite an accomplishment. A San Jose penalty coming up. It is a holding call, and assuming it's a San Jose penalty, because the Sharks had possession of the puck when the whistle was blown.
San Jose
will go to Burrish.
37, 2 minutes for holding.
Wisconsin native getting a penalty here in Minnesota. Doesn't like the call. And if that was the call down behind the net, the refs will be calling. If they're going to be consistent, there'll be a lot of holding penalties tonight. Let's put it that way.
So Burrish sits, and now this Minnesota power play that on paper is so good with the players involved, but also on paper is 0 for 26. They haven't scored yet.
But also very dangerous because they've had all kinds of chances.
Here's a shorthanded chance. Couture, save, rebound, save, and the Sharks still with the puck. Thornton trying to keep it away from Pominville, and Suter finally gets to it.
Good chance for Logan Couture there. Shorthanded. Sharks looking for their first shorthanded goal of the year. They've given up 3.
Suter trying to sort it out. It skips to the far side. Pominville back across to this side for Mikael Granlund. Granlund centering pass and a good back check by Wingels. Took away Vanek's stick and a great scoring opportunity. Vanek, who they brought here for his scoring, hasn't found the net yet. And Suter, who basically will be on for most of this power play, you would think. Now a pass to Coyle. He's behind the net with Koivu, and they bump it up top to Suter. He has to one-hand it to Niederreiter, taken away momentarily by Nieto. Now a pass back to Niederreiter, but off his skate. Niederreiter backing in his Coyle, loose, comes to Spurgeon. He leans back, couldn't get it away. Suter back to the captain, Koivu. Koivu across for Coyle, wanted the one-timer. Sharks got a stick on it. And Charlie Coyle leans in, plays it to the net, a loose puck for Niemi. He covers ahead of Pominville.
Tommy Wingels has been playing phenomenal hockey all season. And we're going to take a look way up there in the top left of the screen. Tommy Wingels. He recognizes, he tracks, he comes back, and then he gets his stick there in the last second. Great job by Tommy Wingels. Randy, you already alluded to the fact that he's leading the team, the San Jose Sharks, in hits and in shots. He's tied for first in the NHL in hits with 43. He's tied for third in the NHL in shots with 41. Tommy Wingels leading the team in shots and hits, and his off-ice training this summer has really paid off. He came back faster, stronger, more determined.
He's also chipped in on the score sheet as well. 4 goals, 7 points for Wingels. Now the Sharks have 17 seconds left to kill here on this power play. Dumba from center sends it in. Here's a breakaway for Patrick Marleau. Marleau in alone, gets to the puck, shoots, saved by Kemper, and he bats away the rebound and covers. Second breakaway of the period for the Sharks. Darcy Kemper stopped them both.
Brent Burns blocked a shot. He's hobbling off. That's a concern. I got to tell you, I love what Brent Burns does. He blocks this shot. He goes down. He realizes that Marleau is heading up on a breakaway, and he gets up to go off the ice. If he stays down, the referees are going to blow the whistle. Sharks have possession. Great save by Kemper. The best 2 scoring chances on this Minnesota Wild power play have been both by the San Jose Sharks. Couture 1 and Marleau.
Wild get it off the draw. Shovel down by Carter. The penalty is over. Minnesota with 2 shots on goal. And now Thornton will stick handle his way through traffic. Joe chips it in along the near boards for Tomas Hertl. Nate Prosser first to the puck, number 39 for the Wild, to Brodziak, who had a breakaway of his own in this first period, denied by Niemi. Back down low, and it gets away, and Hannon will send it out.
Well, the goalie's stealing the show here again. We saw that last game in Colorado.
Icing the call here against the Sharks, and if you love Halloween and are a Sharks fan, then we have the contest for you, Sharkoween. Submit your best Sharks-themed Halloween photo. You could win a jersey, 4 tickets to a game, and a signed mini territory sign. But don't wait. You have to submit your photo by 10 p.m. tomorrow to be eligible. For all the details, visit sjsharks.com/Halloween.
I mean, I think you just want to do it just to say you can tell your friends, you know what, I participated in the Sharkoween. It's just a word that sounds good. Sharkoween.
We had some of our top people come up with that name. Coyle shot, save, rebound, Niemi down, makes the save off Koivu. Oh, you're right about the goalie stealing the show here in the first period. Maybe a little troubling for the coaches that they've had to make so many great saves off grade A chances, both sides. Now Suter. And up through center, it goes all the way back. James Shepard retrieving it. Now the Sharks come through center. Chris Tierney lifting it in. Matt Nieto after it there. Tierney, little room. Scandella, good job to protect the puck. Now he's having trouble getting it out of there. Tierney, a swing and a miss as that bouncing puck couldn't find the blade of his stick. And a hand pass called in the neutral zone against the Sharks. 20 combined shots here in a scoreless first period. Tonight's save of the game is brought to you by RGP Consulting from the inside out.
We got everybody going. The ref going down. Thornton tracks the puck, loses his man, Koivu. And Niemi with a great two-pack stack save for the RGP save of the game. Koivu, the captain of the Minnesota Wild.
Had a broken ankle last year, shortened his season.
Yeah, he's struggling offensively. His line's playing well, though. Coyle's got a couple of goals, 5 points. Zucker's on his line. He's got points in 3 straight, as we mentioned. I have a feeling Jay Woodcroft, or one of the coaches, is going to talk to the centerman after the first period. We've seen both Tierney and Thornton lose their center, the opposing centerman that's given up a real good scoring chance.
Here's Marleau now. We're scoreless here in the opening period at XL Energy Center. A truly outstanding facility to watch an NHL game in. Spurgeon trying to clear it away. We've got a penalty coming up here. It looks like interference to the Sharks. And that's the second minor to San Jose in this period.
Minnesota number 20, 2 minutes interference.
Nope, it's going the other way.
Tommy Wingles draws the penalty.
Ryan Suter's off.
There it is. Tommy Wingles just does a soft chip. Suter interferes him. Tommy Wingles got rid of the puck. Sharks go on the power play. Again, providing value. Tommy Wingles. He's actually got his first power play goal in the NHL this year. Got it the other night. May see him on the second unit. Sharks were 0 for 4 last game against Colorado. In the last 5 games, Sharks are 4 for 17, 23%.
Here's Pavelski between Couture and Thornton as the Sharks have it from the faceoff. Marleau trying to set up the defense. There's a shot that skips through wide. Demers able to keep it in. Back for Pavelski. He'll slow it down on the boards. Couture comes in supporting, but the Wild are able to whack it out of there.
Still no Brent Burns. That's got to be a concern. Shaken up. Went back into the dressing room after blocking that dump in. So that's why Demers is out on the first power play, not Burns.
Typically, you'll try and walk it off back there in the hall. Here's Thornton. Has a look at the net. He's unable to keep his balance. Just lost his edge there. Demers changing sides to Couture. He'll flick it to the goal, but Scandella in the way. And he one-hands it to Veilleux, who just forces it up and over the boards onto the Minnesota bench.
Well, one of the things this Wild penalty kill is known for is their aggressiveness. They've only given up 2 power play goals all year. They've only had to kill 22 penalties, 3rd in the NHL at 90.9. Joe Thornton's wanting a trip. He's asking. He's like, why isn't that a trip? He's got a little confused look on his face. He did some good stick handling while he was down on the ice, though.
There's a face-off win for the Wild, but they give it right back, and now the Sharks will try and get it in and get reestablished here on the power play. A little over a minute to go. Nieto up top. Vlasic to this side for Braun. Back to Vlasic. Back to Nieto. He'll pass it in to Wingles. Nieto follows up. This is Vlasic. Braun again. They set up the same look this time. Vlasic shoots it. That just trickled wide as it's picked up by Braun and his backhander save. And cleared by Minnesota.
Well, good movement, puck movement by the San Jose Sharks up high, getting a shot down low. They had a double screen. I think Braun, I don't know if he realized that Hertl was open on the far side of the crease there when he tried to stuff it home on that wraparound opportunity.
This one will take a weird bounce off the glass. And Couture, good hustle to get to that puck, but then Marleau can't handle the bouncer. He's able to settle it now. Chips back for Thornton. Joe for Mueller coming off the bench. Mirko Mueller down behind the goal line, puts on the brakes. Checked by Prosser. Prosser keeping him on the perimeter. Mueller has to go back to the point. Couture tried to push a pass ahead. That's broken up by Niederreiter, and down it goes again. Came off somebody on the bench, so they'll blow it dead with 5:35 left here in the first. No score. Brent Burns played parts of 7 seasons here in Minnesota with the Wild. Originally a first-round draft pick of theirs. Came in as a forward, but they converted him to defense. Jacques Lemaire, the then head coach, did. He would move back and forth between positions. A fan favorite here as well, and then came to the Sharks in that trade that involved Devin Setoguchi going the other way and Charlie Coyle along with a first-round pick back in 2011.
A baby-faced Brent Burns back in the day here in Minnesota. That last clip, he looked a lot smaller, doesn't he? You could just see how he's all those summer training, the workouts. He's a lot stronger now, obviously.
Brent Burns scored his first NHL goal against the Sharks. That was back in 2003 against Vesa Toskala. And the connections between the Sharks and Minnesota franchise go on and on and on, even back to the old Minnesota North Stars, who technically now are the Dallas Stars. Those North Stars had a cross-pollinating draft when the Sharks came into the NHL, an expansion draft where Minnesota North Star players ended up on the San Jose roster. Here's a puck right to the crease off the stick of Burish, and it's gobbled up by Kemper's glove.
Well, Kemper, he's having a minus the 1 game in New York. He's been phenomenal. 1.51 goals against average, 934 save percentage. He's got 3 shutouts. He's the second goalie in NHL history that's got 3 shutouts in his first 4 years.
Kemper suffered a concussion last year. In fact, Minnesota had to run about 4 different goalies through their organization, to the point where at the end of the year in the playoffs, Ilya Bryzgalov was in goal for them. They won a round. They beat Colorado in a 7th game, but then fell to Chicago in 6. Now Kemper, at least for the moment, seems to have wrestled the starting job away, with Backstrom backing up. He was the winner in Boston the other night. Backstrom was. Shot from the point by Vlasic, wide. Played back in by Vanek to his own defenseman, Marco Scandella. Desjardins battling Scandella. Hertl, or rather Goodrow, trying to get in there after the loose puck. Barclay Goodrow playing in his first NHL game for the Sharks. Desjardins back for Goodrow behind the net. Out of his glove. Tried to set the table in front. And now it's Dumba trying to chip it up the boards and out.
Well, Goodrow's big enough to be in the NHL. 21-year-old, 6'2", 215. Came to the draft here in 2011.
In this building.
In this building. And never got drafted at all. Was here the whole day.
Sat here with his parents and his agent, and you wait for your name to come up, and it never happened. Can you imagine?
Now he's playing his first NHL game here. I'll tell you, at the time, probably devastated, but you want something to motivate you? Good story.
That'll fire you up for the rest of your life. Granlund, nice move, pushes it ahead. Good back checking there by the Sharks, broke up a scoring chance. Now through the middle, it's Nieto. He'll catch the pass with Tierney and Shepard. Sends it across to Mueller. Mueller back in front, they score! Chris Tierney with his first National Hockey League goal!
Well, I'm not sure if Tierney's going to get credit for it, but I know this. Either Mueller or Tierney, somebody's going to get their first NHL goal.
It'll be one of them.
It's going to be one of them.
I took a gamble it was Tierney because he was in the crease.
I just go by the reaction. A good zone entry by the San Jose Sharks. Mueller waits, and I'm not sure if it goes off Tierney, and maybe it is. He pointed right over towards Mueller. There's the pass from Mueller. And I'm not sure if it goes off of... I'm not sure if that goes off Zach Parise or Tierney, but one of them's getting their first NHL goal, so congratulations.
Well, I had a chat with Mirko Mueller this morning about what we thought was his first goal in Anaheim, and he wasn't sure when he shot it if it went off Brent Burns. It eventually did. And he said, no big deal. And I said, yeah, you'll eventually get it. We'll have to wait and see what they call here. They still haven't made an official announcement in the building, because I think they're going to take a closer look at it. We'll get an overhead of that, which should be definitive as to whose goal it is. But we do know it counts. Either way, it's a first goal for one of the two, and the Sharks have a 1-0 lead. Couture. And they're going to give it to Mueller. Here's Marleau, skates to the loose puck, and he's upended, or at least lost his balance trying to slow down. So it is Mirko Mueller's goal. I called it as Tierney. They'll have to sort that out amongst themselves. It's 1-0. Now Vlasic trying to get it away from that pile there. Niederreiter leaning in. Braun's giving one of the other Minnesota players back there the business. This comes from the point, and now loose in the goal crease, and Niemi trying to find it. It's still loose to Koivu. Back out to Spurgeon, and Niemi got his balance and fought that off with his right arm. That's a solid stop for Antti Niemi.
Mirko Mueller thought he scored his first goal last game. It ended up being Burns. This one looks like it goes off of Zach Parise. We're going to get an overhead look. Tierney going to the front of the net. That actually might have gone off the stick of Kemper, but I don't think Tierney touched it. I think they got it right. And
sure
the
had a
reaction,
stick there.
you can tell the reaction by Tierney. He pointed right over to Mirko Mueller.
Well, you should have told me.
You were prophetic this morning. You said you're going to get it eventually. Sooner eventually, but eventually.
So now his first ever NHL goal on tape isn't his. Ah, well, we'll recreate it for him.
Just take the call from the Colorado game.
Right, switch it over.
They don't know.
Here's Burns. And Pavelski. So Minnesota responded with a pretty nice pushback shift after the goal. But Niemi came up with a great save there. He was down, he was scrambling, had to get up quickly and identify the angle from which that shot was coming. That was maybe bigger than it seems right now. We'll see. Vanek punching it up the boards. Demers tries to give for Goodrow, crossing out of the zone, and chasing back is Dumba. The official scoring play. Mueller is first in the NHL from Nieto and Shepard at 16:06.
Well, that last scoring chance Minnesota had to Tomas Hertl, who's been playing better and trending up. But his angle to block the shot was not good. He's actually only one of 3 San Jose Sharks this year who's not blocked a shot.
And Niemi's going to cover this for a face-off. Well, visit csncalifornia.com and read up on Kevin Kerr's latest articles. Up on the site today, Matt Nieto's coming of age and the Burns-Mueller chemistry on the Sharks' blue line. Kevin Kerr's at csncalifornia.com.
Well, it's points now in 2 straight games for Mirko Mueller, and an assist. It ended up on turned out to be Brent Burns' 4th of the year last game.
Tierney tossed out of the face-off circle. Shepard will take it against Mikael Granlund. Sharks continue to be very good in the first periods. They're now 14-1, outscoring the opponent in the first. As this shot goes up out of play.
Well, you look at their success this year, the San Jose Sharks, coming into today. 6-1-1 when they score first. They've been winning their face-offs, so they're getting leads. They're winning that first battle of the shifts. They're one of the top face-offs teams in the NHL, 8th right now. Minnesota, actually, one of the categories they've actually struggled in is face-offs. They're 29th in the league, just over 45%. But that's been the recipe for the Sharks. Win the first battle, score the first goal, get out to the lead. Sometimes they've held it, sometimes they haven't.
And Granlund finally dug that out. And good hustle by Dumba to keep it in. Braun chased back by Pominville. Hertl trying to rip it up to Pavelski. Granlund plays it right in front. Good coverage by Braun. Got to the front of his net. Now Thornton legging his way to the puck. Skates in. The shot off the crossbar by Pavelski. Not again. The Sharks hit a ton of bars on Tuesday in Colorado. I mean the red kind. And they still managed to win. But here we go again as Joe Pavelski hits the crossbar there.
Your clarification was noted and appreciated.
Yeah. Here's Carter, and he'll backhand it out to Niederreiter. Inside the final minute of this opening period. Coyle. And that comes back to him. Now to Marlowe, but not out. From the line, it's fired deep by Spurgeon. Coyle trying to turn off the backboards, does. Charlie Coyle gets it on his forehand. Flicks it to the wing. Suter behind the net. Niederreiter. Back to Fontaine. Justin Fontaine. The switch off with Suter is shot wide. And Scott Hannon's going to get to this and push it out.
Good communication in the defensive zone by the San Jose Sharks there. A lot of switches.
Niemi stops the final shot of the opening period, and that'll do it for the first 20 minutes here in St. Paul. At the end of the first period, it's the Sharks 1 and the Minnesota Wild nothing. Coming up on our Ram Intermission Report, we'll check in with our Sportsnet Central studios with Brody Brazil and Curtis Brown standing by, and then Jamie Baker will be back to talk to the man who did score his first NHL goal in that period, Mirko Mueller. Back live in Minnesota. Time for our Geico This Date in Hockey History. It was October 30th of 1999 that Vincent Damphousse scored his 350th NHL goal. While he was with the Sharks in a 1-1 tie against Pittsburgh, he ended his career with 432 goals and over 1,200 points. And a current Shark is about to pass him on the all-time career points leader list. Joe Thornton with 12:04 now. He's got 2 assists on this trip, and he is 1 point away from tying Vinny Damphousse. And he's only 5 away from another Shark alum, Bernie Nichols, as Jumbo Joe Thornton climbs up the list. And almost everybody he passes now is a Hall of Famer. Damphousse isn't, nor is Nichols, but there's certainly candidates each and every year in the veterans category. Wouldn't be surprised to see one or both of those get in.
1,204 points. Almost had an assist there at the end of the first period. Just keeps on ticking for the boys. That's his motto. And I thought that first period against Colorado the other night might have been his best period this year. Talking to the coaches this morning, I think Todd McClellan thinks the Colorado game and probably the Boston game were Joe Thornton's best games, where he kind of took the game over a little bit.
He was great in the face-off circle on Tuesday. He won 11 of 15 against the Colorado Senators. 73%. Second period underway here in St. Paul as the Sharks try and make it a 3-game streak of victories on this road trip. They'll be back home on Saturday night to face John Tavares and the New York Islanders, and we know how improved they are. Charlie Coyle, his shot saved by Niemi. Coyle's 6th shot now of the game. Working against Braun. Braun stays with him, forces that puck off Coyle's stick, and then Couture comes across to support, held in by Spurgeon. He wanted Zucker in front, and Marlowe taps it ahead. Wingle's waiting on it at center, gets it deep.
Well, Coyle he's been a workhorse tonight. He got just re-signed recently, a 5-year extension that takes his contract through 2019 and 20. Getting some nice help from Zucker down in the offensive zone, who was setting some soft picks. San Jose's going to have to keep aware of that. If Coyle keeps carrying the puck in the offensive zone, they'll have to do some switches.
He's got that great power forward body, but can play center as well. Coyle 6'3", 221. As you look at Tomas Hertl, and his game has been getting a little bit better period by period. We talked about it on Tuesday, and Todd McClellan talked about Hertl's game with us, how it's on the come up. 3 shots, did not get involved in the scoring on Tuesday night. Here is Tomas behind the net.
That was Brent Burns with the shot, so he's back out there to start the second period.
Thornton back to Burns. Burns drive, and that one went wide. Hertl losing his edge, battling Suter for the puck. Pavelski to Thornton, hit the outside of the net. Pavelski again trying to thread the needle through to Hertl. Thornton takes a whack, keeps the puck. Back up top, Mueller a shot blocked. Drops for Burns. Burns skates in. Tried the toe drag, and Suter wouldn't bite.
I think Burns wanted to shoot, but I think he was off balance a little bit. Opted for the toe drag. It's one of the best defensemen in the world who, as you said, didn't bite.
And now both teams change on the fly here as it's pumped into the San Jose zone by Jared Spurgeon. Brodziak, who was denied on a breakaway in the first period by Niemi. Now good work by Shepard behind the play on Vanek, allows Nieto to come in. His shot off Scandella and up out of play. Well, youngest defenseman to score a goal in Sharks history. Mueller becomes the second at 19 years, 223 days. Vlasti Krupa, an old teammate of yours, Jamie Baker, did it at 18 plus years, and Marc-Edouard Vlasic just 4 days later than Mueller.
There's a good look on the bench there. Jimmy Johnson talking to the defenseman and talking to Burns, probably telling him, yeah, you know, you got a great shot. You might want to use it there. Use Suter as a screen. Burns was listening intently.
Demers, up for Matt Nieto. Now to Shepard. He and Tierney come across the line together. Chris Tierney. Checked by Prosser. Shepard back out in front. That was just off the stick of Nieto. Nino Niederreiter scored, well, the biggest goal of last season for the Minnesota Wild. He got the winner in overtime in Game 7 of the first round series against Colorado. Sent the Wild to the second round for only the second time in their existence. The first time they got into the Stanley Cup playoffs, they went to the conference final. The one and only time, and they weren't that far behind the Blackhawks in that series, if you'll recall last year. Lost it in 6, but in some of the games they lost, they were the better team. That's the way it goes sometimes in the playoffs.
Well, this Central Division is as good as any in hockey. You got Chicago, St. Louis, Colorado, Minnesota.
And we've got a penalty.
We're going to get a charging penalty for Ryan Carter. Leads the team with 16 hits.
He's a Stanley Cup champion. Came
Minnesota penalty number 19, 2 minutes for charging.
It's going to be VU.
Sorry, it was VU. I thought it was number 18. It was actually number 19. VU's first game on. There it is right there. You can see him leave his skates. Gets a charging penalty. Sharks go on the power play for the second time tonight.
3:15, time of the minor penalty to VU.
Poignant looking Mike Yeo.
Yo's taken the Wild to the playoffs 3 times now.
Minor penalty, Minnesota.
Here's Burns with a shot, and that goes wide.
2 minutes for charging, time of penalty 3:15. VU, the Wild, charging minor at 3:15.
Pavelski wanted Couture behind him. Shooting the gap is Marleau to keep it alive. Now Couture just on the line, and Burns will send it around for Marleau behind the net.
All over the ice tonight. He's flying out there.
And Minnesota able to clear it down. I stand corrected. They've gone to the playoffs the last 2 years under Mike Yeo. And 5 years without a playoff appearance before that. Pavelski to Thornton. And that one in Marlowe's feet. He dumps it right to Suter. And he'll get it down again.
That's a missed opportunity for the Sharks. You got one of the Minnesota Wild who fell deep in the Sharks' end below the goal line. You can create that into a 4-on-3, but they didn't connect their passes in the neutral zone.
Burns gets in. He gets whacked by Brodziak. Pavelski through to Wingels. Shoots, scores! Tommy Wingels snaps home a power play goal, and it's 2-0.
Tommy Wingels with his 5th goal of the year, 2nd power play goal. Sharks keep the puck in right there. A 2-on-1 situation. Burns and Wingels, and Thornton creates a distraction. We're gonna watch Tommy. There's Burns, helps out the cause. Thornton creates the screen. Kemper doesn't come out, take away the angle. Couldn't, because Thornton was right at the top of the crease, and the Sharks have a 2-0 lead.
Wingels, as you noted, his 2nd career power play goal. His first one ever was on Tuesday. And now, James Shepard back for Braun. His shot saved by Kemper, and it pops out here to Jason Pominville.
It's the first power play goal that the Wild have given up at home all season.
Time of the power play goal, 4:20.
I meant to say Sunday was Wingel's power play goal for Anaheim. Back come the Wild. Chance at the front of the net for Pominville. Tied up by Vlasic. Good strong defense by number 44 against a 30-goal scorer last year, Pominville. Tierney will dump it in for the Sharks as they get a line change behind the play. Pavelski and Burns get the assists on the Wingel's power play goal at 4:20. Caught by Burish, handed off to Goodrow. It comes across to Desjardins with the spin-around move. And back out to Vanek for Charlie Coyle. Back for Thomas Vanek. He was a star at the University of Minnesota here. There's so much speculation that he would come back in free agency, and he tries a wraparound here after a Sharks giveaway down low, and Niemi bails the blue line out there.
And still looking for his first goal. This Minnesota team, they have 12 players who played college hockey. The team with the most, no surprise, the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
That was just a blind reverse by Demers, and obviously communication there just wasn't in place.
And that's exactly right. And you know, Niemi, I know he's from Finland, but that's a situation where he has to make sure that the defenseman doesn't reverse it there. You got to say strong side, carry it up, or hold it. You got to be careful in that situation. He made a good save, though.
Coyle. Watched by the rookie Mueller. Merkel gets his stick in there. Coyle with the big body, just able to shield that puck. Dumba. And that'll rim around. This time Mueller with the step on Coyle. Burns, who was shaken up on a block shot in the first period, but returned to start this second. Snaps this one all the way down, so it'll be an icing call here against the Sharks.
Mike Gill making some line changes. He's got Vanek, who started the game with Brodziak and Niederreiter, up there with Koivu and Coyle trying to get something going. Face off here in the defensive zone for the Sharks.
There's Thomas Vanek, as we said, still looking for his first goal of the year. He's got 5 assists in now 9 games played as he signed in the offseason as a free agent. The Islanders tried to keep him after that trade from Buffalo, but Vanek had his sights set here on returning to the Twin Cities, where he went to college, or in this area. Probably took less money in term to come here, but this is where he wanted to be.
That's a great hockey town.
The Kyle Granlund checked by Wingels, and the puck on the Shark stick to Couture, and Suter arrived just in time for Minnesota. Now Pominville back out to Pavelski, and now Couture will send it down the ice. Logan scoring his 5th goal of the year to help the Sharks come back in Denver on Tuesday night after that goal by Gabriel Landeskog had given the Avs a lead. Couture's goal on the rebound of the Justin Braun post shot, and that was a huge comeback for the Sharks. It ended in the shootout win. They're ahead 2-0 here, and Tommy Wingels has his 5th of the year. We'll be back in Minnesota. 10 shots on goal at Denver on Tuesday. All 10 were on goal, none blocked or missed, and the only other Sharks players to have 10-plus shots with all of them on net, Danny Heatley did it a couple of years ago against Buffalo. It's the 2nd straight road game where the Sharks had a player with 10 shots on goal. Tommy Wingels also with 10 shots against Anaheim.
We don't make that stuff up, folks. That's a true story. You can't make that stuff up.
Matt Dumba sending it up to center for Justin Fontaine. Niemi, a save off the wrist shot, bounces in front of the San Jose net, and Niemi watches it carefully and covers it back up as the Wild trying to get back in this. That was Niederreiter.
First key tonight, win the short races. Hannon, he's right there. Demers, he's right with Niederreiter, not allowing him to get his stick on it. And if you're winning the short races, you establish good body position, you get body on body, stick on stick, and you help out that guy right there. Well, not that guy.
Niederreiter came over, former first-round draft pick Nino Niederreiter from the New York Islanders in the trade that sent the popular Cal Clutterbuck from Minnesota to the island, and we'll see Clutterbuck, and I'll bet he'll be working on his Movember stash when we see him on Saturday night. And the Sharks are back home to face the Islanders. We'll have that game beginning with pregame live at 7 on Saturday. Going to be good to be back at SAP Center for a Saturday night on ice.
Sharks right now. This is their 9th road game. They played more road games this year, the Sharks have, than Florida's played games.
Yeah,
this is the ninth game for the Wild. 9th road game for the Sharks.
Yeah, the Wild are only playing, or the Panthers rather, are only playing their 8th game. Strange how the schedule is unbalanced early in the year, but so much of it has to do with building availability, not only now and later. Fans always ask, why is the schedule this way? There's a lot of factors that go into it. Coyle behind the net. Burns challenging him. And they whack away at it. Koivu there too. Coyle comes out with it. One hand on the stick. Back for Zucker, and he shot it high and wide.
Zucker back on that line. Coyle's been the best forward for the Wild tonight.
He's back in the corner again. Tierney tripped up by Koivu. Coyle again. Back to the point. Suter shot. Saved Niemi. And you saw that all the way. Back to Zucker. And to Koivu. Suter waits, sends it off the boards for Coyle. Zucker there too. In front, they score! Mikko Koivu! It's 2-1.
Koivu with his 2nd point and goal of the year. And just too much offensive zone pressure. You're going to see Koivu, you talked about establishing body position. He gains the body position on James Sheppard there. Sheppard's a left-handed shot, as is Coyle. Coyle got in front of him, got his stick on the ice. A great pass from Zucker that just slides under Niemi, and that's been the best line for the Minnesota Wild tonight. Charlie Coyle leading the way, just a strong power forward. I haven't seen him play. You know, the one thing that's changed in Coyle's game, he's always been a power forward. He looks faster this year, and with the speed, he and Koivu and Zucker have played really strong. They've been the best line. Sharks are going to have to keep an eye on them. That gets the crowd into the game here, too.
Zucker and Suter get the assist. There's a shot knocked down by Kemper as Braun tried to get the goal back. Vanek quickly across. Here's Niederreiter. Puts on the brakes against Burris. Changes direction. Niederreiter now behind the net. Burris back on him, trying to stay with Nino Niederreiter. Prosser. Scandella. That's just wide with lots of traffic in front of Niemi. Brodziak can't control. Braun will sends it up and out to Hurdle.
Well, this Wild team and the Sharks coaches have communicated this to the players as part of the pre-scout, that the Wild are very good down low in the offensive zone. They get cycling the puck, and then they can kick it up to the defense, and that's exactly what happened.
And a stoppage here with 10:26 to go in the 2nd period. So Mikko Koivu takes advantage of that sustained pressure in the Sharks zone and gets the Wild back to within a goal.
This Wild team this year, 22.6 shots against a game, first in the NHL. They average about 34 shots per game. The only team that's averaging more is Chicago. So they are 2nd in that category. 5-on-5, their differential is +13 first.
Kemper up the boards, Wingles back for Couture, now overskated by Marleau, and the Wild breakout, Mikael Granlund. His pass, a hard one, hits Parisi, who then gets checked by Couture. Parisi took a stick in the lips at Madison Square Garden on Monday night that required multiple stitching. He came back in that game, though, the hockey player. Pominville back around, and here's Parisi. Trying to set the table back there for Granlund. Pominville, Parisi, and he banned. Back to Suter. Waits, fires, Niemi the save. Parisi out of the corner. Granlund switching up. Pominville to Spurgeon on this side. Up top they go to Suter. His wrist shot just missed as the Wild with the pressure on here in what's been their biggest period of the year so far, the 2nd. Spurgeon chance denied, but they still have the puck. Pominville, that save. Hannon now surely will get it out, and he will to Marleau. Patrick wide into the zone against Suter. He'll pull up. He's got lots of help in the zone. Backhands it to Mueller. That's a drive that goes off Spurgeon's stick to Vanek on the far side.
Well, Sharks get 5 fresh players out there, and then they needed it. They were got stuck in the defensive zone.
In front for Goodrow, and Kemper's got it as Barclay Goodrow bids for his first goal. The Wild get one back from Mikko Koivu. Marco Koivu, originally drafted by them, 6th overall back in 2001. Played for Todd McClellan when Todd was a minor league coach in the American League with the Houston Aeros. They won a championship down there with McClellan as head coach. A 2-time Olympian with Team Finland, also a gold medalist with Finland at the World Championships, and brother of Saku Koivu, now retired.
There's the C here in Minnesota, 609 games. There's Barclay Goodrow, his first NHL game. That's a great story. Here's an undrafted free agent, played for North Bay last year. North Bay Battalion of the Ontario Hockey League. There's the pass, there's the redirect. Goodrow almost getting his first NHL goal in his first NHL game. Granlund doesn't like that chance, puts him in a little headlock.
He just got better and better in junior with Brampton, eventually it was renamed North Bay. This is his junior numbers: 34 points, next year 36, then 58, then 59. Last year, Barclay Goodrow, 33 goals, 64 points, and then he had a big playoff year as well for them. Great signing by the Sharks, and he had a terrific preseason, got injured just before the regular season started. Getting his chance tonight in the show as the Sharks top line here goes offside.
There's a guy that, I mean, all the young players have earned the spots, but an undrafted free agent, and he earned it. He came in, we were watching him right from the start of camp. From the first day of camp, he kind of stuck out when you're watching some of the younger players. Mirko Mueller kind of eased into the camp. I thought he got better as the camp went on, and same thing in the preseason games. I was impressed with Goodrow, you know, right from the start of camp. So was Brett Hedican. We talked about it at the game in Sacramento.
I was too.
Enough said.
Here's Niederreiter down in the Shark zone, working against Jason Demers. 8:15 to go in the second period. Sharks have seen their lead shrink to 1. Talked about Minnesota in second periods this year. They've outscored the opposition 14-3. Hannon with a shot, juggled by Kemper, and it comes back out. Now off Hannon's stick. Good recovery by Demers to help out his partner coming across. Now Sharks back into Minnesota zone. Punched out of there by Dumba. Dumba across the line. He'll hand it off on the wing. Niemi with the save, and he'll hold it for a face-off with 7:43 left to go in the period.
Tonight's forward right choice. We're going to take a look at Matt Nieto, just using his speed. He kind of gets interfered, boxes out. Nice little tight turn, holds onto the puck, head up. That creates a bit of a scoring chance. That's just using your speed, your hockey sense. I like the way he kind of got interfered and then went, and you could see the coach doing the same thing, giving a pat in the back there. And Todd McClellan, he's talking about the consistency of Matt Nieto. Just a great kid and works hard. You know what you're going to get. He's almost, you know, he's like a smaller, little faster version of Tommy Wingels when Wingels came in. It's just knows how to play the game. He's a good pro, good person, and love watching him play.
Hurdle skating with Desjardins and Burish on this line right now. As Desjardins gets it off the boards, up near Burish. Braun fires it and it hits Suter. He'll play it to Pominville and up, and Parisi takes it onside, shoots Niemi out to cut off the angle. And Desjardins had it picked off his stick by Pominville. Now on second effort, it's cleared out. And Spurgeon gives it to the workhorse, Ryan Suter. Nephew of former Shark, Gary Suter. Shark alum, now retired, of course. Braun takes a hit from Granlund. Wilder on a change. But now Pominville again in the corner. Granlund, far side, wanted Spurgeon cutting in. He falls, Hurdle chips it out and forces Dumba to turn.
Does a good job by Hurdle collapsing down low, recognizing that the defenseman was coming in behind him on the back side, on the weak side. He got his stick down, deflected that puck. Hurdle right now dropped down to the fourth line. Looks like we'll see where Goodrow is.
Niemi trying to get it up the boards and out of trouble, comes right back. Here's Carter. Carter shot, Niemi to save, rebound, and Fontaine had an open look, but a good job by Wingels to get his stick. Dumba quickly back to Scandella. Now Dumba The star and junior at Portland in the WHL. Carter on the wing. Bannock back to him. And Niemi made the stop, and here's Marleau back the other way. One man back. The forward, or no, it's Prosser back there, and Marleau to Pavelski, saved by Kemper.
Oh, what a play by Marleau. A little spinorama. Looked like he was going to shoot. He held up for a second, set up Pavelski for a great scoring chance.
Pavelski, a backhander through the middle, gobbled up, but comes back to him. Now eventually ends up on this side. Pavelski chasing it down as Nate Prosser gives to Scandella.
Yeah, and we're seeing Barclay Goodrow. He's been moved from the fourth line up to the first line with Thornton and Pavelski.
And one of the Wild players ends up in the San Jose net. Are we going to get a penalty call here?
Safe at first.
It's Zucker, and we'll be back in St. Paul.
Take a look at Patty Marleau, speed and skill. We're going to watch this in slow motion. Patty Marleau has got open ice. Look at this skating stride. The leg extension, gets one hand on his stick. Now he's got two. He tries to cut across. Little spinorama, uses his outside edges. There's that little crossover. Prosser with a good stick. Marleau gets his head up. Pavelski finds the soft spot. Thornton with the screen. Great save by Kemper.
Marleau 5 shots the other night in Carolina.
You just don't see guys that big. Patty Marleau, 220 pounds, 6'2". He's not that he's just fast, he's quick. And makes him one of the best skaters in the world. He just showcased it there.
Not bad hands either, as we saw him score the only goal the Sharks needed in the shootout Tuesday. 5-hole on Semyon Varlamov, who had been a wall up to that point. 49 saves for Varlamov Tuesday. And were it not for him, Colorado wouldn't even have ended up with a point. As a little activity in the corner now as Hannon was tripped up and everybody joins the convention. There's Niemi looking on from his goal crease. He's not going anywhere. Well, Sharks players are growing mustaches this Movember to generate awareness and raise funds for men's health issues. Fans can donate to the cause and support their favorite Sharks Mo Bros. Okay, by visiting sharksfoundation.org before the end of the month.
Should just be Shark Mo Bro. We're going to have Sharko-ween, Sharko Bro. There's James Shepard. Patty Marleau's been taking a lot of face-offs. Logan Couture has struggled in the circle this year, so.
Granlund, Spurgeon, and Niemi will cover again for another face-off.
It's been a tactical game. Hasn't been a overly physical game. Wild were only credited with one hit in the first period. Got a few more here.
Somebody on Twitter just asked me if I'm going shark or treating tomorrow. Spurgeon across through center. Vlasic trying to get it up for Patrick Marleau, who was up near the blue line. Now they get it to Patty. Wingles heads for the net. Marleau waits, shoots, and a glove save by Kemper.
Well, Patty Marleau's been the Sharks' best forward tonight. He's been all over the ice. He hesitates, waits, lets Wingles go to the net. You can see the head up. That quick release.
Sharks are really getting eaten up in the face-off circle in this game. Minnesota have won 30 draws to the Sharks 12.
Can't explain it. Can't explain that statistic.
And the Wild's going to get credit for that one too, even though Pavelski drew it back.
The Sharks are getting killed in the face-off circle, but I can't explain why.
Pavelski, best on the team percentage-wise going in. There's a giveaway to Thornton. Joe to Pavelski, and he fanned.
Just over his stick. Good turnover there by the Sharks, though. Uncharacteristic giveaways, turnovers by the Wild tonight. They're usually a little more distant. Uncharacteristic by the Sharks in the face-off circle.
Brodziak leaves it for Vanek. To Brodziak again. He'll wrap around, but Niemi got the stick across.
Oh, great push by Niemi's left skate off that post to get all the way across and take away that wraparound opportunity.
Thornton nearing the end of his shift. You could tell he was just out of gas trying to reach that lead pass from Hertl, but he gets it deep, gets the job done, allowing his team to get a line change.
8th game in 13 nights for the Sharks. This is the 6th away game.
They're home for 2. They're going to get a break. Saturday night they have the Islanders, and then they won't play till a week from tonight against Vancouver. Practice time and some just rest and recovery time.
They need a little bit of both.
Especially before a 7-game road trip, which will be the next thing on their plate. Hannon back to touch for icing. And speaking of that, Saturday night on ice coming your way. Sharks hosting the New York Islanders at SAP Center on Saturday. And don't forget about Watch and Win. Watch every week for a chance to win a different Collector's Edition poster. You can find out more at csncalifornia.com. Looking forward to seeing the Islanders again.
And if you're thinking the Islanders, they're not very good. Well, they're currently the top team in the Metropolitan Division with 12 points. They're 6-3 this year. They beat the Sharks in a shootout already back in Uniondale. That'll be a good game. A young, fast hockey team.
Carter knocked down by Niemi. Fontaine trying to control the rebound against Demers. Fontaine falls. This is Couture. Cut off by Suter, who's checked by Wingle. And Tommy will get it up to the line, not out on second try. He finds Marlowe at center, but Spurgeon's there.
Gratuitous non-too many men call by the referees there. I thought Minnesota had too many men on this.
Stretch pass for Wingles. That'll go for icing. The Wild almost 2-1 on the shot counter. 29 shots on goal to the Sharks 15.
They've outshot their opponent in every game this year, the Minnesota Wild. Mike Yo's team, very disciplined. And when you bring in Ryan Suter and Zach Parise, the work ethic here, you talk to anybody, nobody works harder than those two guys. Zach Parise is known for his work ethic. Great guys in the room, and everyone is bought in. They bought into the system, and very disciplined hockey team.
Couture, and now the Sharks get a line change after that icing they had to contend with. Granlund, nice move at the line, on net. Niemi a stick save. Dumba changes angle, gets the shot there. Pominville, and that's intercepted by Tierney. Ahead for Nieto. Scandella with a good angle there, and now the Sharks have to tag up. Quickly out to Pominville. Boy, they don't waste any time getting it up the ice, do they? Granlund on the wing. Parise puts on the brakes. Now Jason Pominville. Dumba kicked it out, and Scandella will send it in.
Now, good job by Tierney staying up tight on Dumba to force him outside of the blue line. This is a very active D. Again, the Sharks know that. The coaching staff talked about how active this defense are, and we've seen it here a little bit more in the second period than we did in the first.
Thornton chasing Suter down, who slaps it toward his own net. Now Koivu, the lone goal scorer for Minnesota tonight. Suter rushing it. On the wing, it comes back to the trailer. Spurgeon saved by Niemi. Koivu on the rebound. Knocked down with his glove by Braun. You can do that as long as you don't do it in the crease on the ice.
Well, Sharks at this point here in the last minute of the second period, they just want to get this period over with, and so they can settle down and make some adjustments in the defensive zone. They're getting outplayed here in this second period by the Wild.
Koivu pulls the trigger. Niemi fights through traffic to make the save. And that's the 33rd shot of the game for Minnesota.
Well, it's been a flurry of action, and I don't mean Marc-Andre down in front of Antti Niemi. That was a good job. Heads up play there by Braun, knocking that loose puck. That Koivu trying to get his second goal of the evening, and Niemi carrying over. I thought that second goal last game maybe is one he could have had against Colorado, but boy, did he ever shut the door in that third period against the Avalanche, and he's carried over that stellar play into this game against the Minnesota Wild.
Goodrow's back down with Desjardins and Burish now as it's sent in by Braun. Half a minute to go here in the second period. A big pushback period for the Wild. Antti Niemi's kept it from being tied or worse.
Well, I think in this period, Randy, I'm going back to my first key of win the short races. The Wild have been winning more of the races here in the last 10 to 12 minutes.
Braun will place it deep. Sharks trying to grind out these final seconds here and go to the dressing room with a lead, and it appears they will do that as Goodrow sends it around. Burish at the side of the net, but there is the buzzer. And now Desjardins getting pushed and shoved, and Brodziak has his gloves off, and he wants to fight Desjardins for what he felt was a shot after the buzzer.
Well, the referees are right there. Kind of an unwritten rule. You don't shoot the puck after the whistle, or in this case, the buzzer. But
Kind of
Crossbar, no
seems
big deal.
simultaneous.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't think this is much. I'm not sure why they're doing this. Desi was ready to go. Desjardins, he dropped his gloves. He's like, you want to go? We'll go.
Period's over, and the Sharks leave it with the lead. At the end of 2, it's San Jose 2 and the Minnesota Wild 1. Brody and Curtis standing by in the Ram Intermission studio with a look around the NHL, and then Jamie and I will be back with second period highlights. The Orchard Supply Hardware Sharks Family Pack is back. It includes 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 bags of chips, and 4 ice-cold Pepsis, and you save up to 33% off individual ticket prices. The next Orchard Supply Hardware Family Pack game is Saturday, November 29th against Anaheim. And the family packs are on sale this Saturday, November 1st at 10 a.m. Go to Ticketmaster.com or Sharks.com/family pack. There's a Brent Burns fan in the crowd, or is it a Pavelski fan? There's at least one 8 on there. I think he's a Joe Pavelski fan. But while we're talking Brent Burns, Burnsy is doing it again on November 3rd, next Monday. Brent Burns, Chris Tierney, Barclay Goodrow, James Shepard, Scott Hannon, Joe Pavelski, and Mirko Mueller will all shave their beards and their heads in the name of charity to raise funds for Defending the Blue Line, the Katie Moore Foundation, and the San Francisco Zoo. Sharks fans can donate. Please do so, as the Sharks are trying to raise money for these great charitable organizations. Jay Woodcroft, Sharks assistant coach, joining us live now down on the San Jose Sharks bench. We see you there in the flashing lights. Jay, obviously Minnesota really had the upper hand in that second period. What kind of adjustments did you talk about making here in the third?
Well, Randy, we thought we could help ourselves a few different ways. The first one is in the face-off circle. We think we can compete harder there and get some help from our wingers and D-men to help our centers out, but also just managing the puck through the neutral zone. We didn't get in on the forecheck the way we wanted to, and as a result, we played too much time in our end.
What do you do in the defensive zone, Jay? They got their cycle started to take over as the period went on.
Yeah, you know what, Jamie? I think that our shift length was a factor in how much time we spend in our own end, so we want to shorten our shifts up. And like I said, if we manage the puck through the neutral zone, we'll make sure that we're spending more time in their end than they will be in ours.
Thanks, Jay. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Jay. So it's interesting. I thought the Sharks were doing a decent job in the neutral zone, but he's talking about when the Sharks have the puck. I think the Sharks have been doing a good job, I guess, when Minnesota's coming through the neutral zone, but he's saying we need to manage the puck in the neutral zone, get the puck deep, spend more time in the offensive zone. That's what they did last game against Colorado. In the defensive zone, he's talking about shorter shifts. It'll be easier because it's not the long change. That affects your fatigue level. That affects, obviously, your quickness, your ability to win the battles, all of that. So win the faceoffs. A little bit better puck management in the neutral zone when the Sharks do have the puck. Shorten their shifts. We'll see if they can do what the coaches are asking here in the third period. Sharks are up with 20 minutes left to have a perfect 3-0 road trip.
There's Charlie Coyle. 6 shots on goal for him so far in this game. 6 for Koivu, who got their only goal. And there's the goal differentials by period. You see Minnesota a +10 now in second periods. They ended up even in that period because the Sharks also scored in the second. But we saw their second period flex of muscle, if you will. The Sharks, you also saw there, are now a +13 in the first period as they got the only goal in the opening stanza here tonight. Jason Zucker hits the goal post. And he almost tied this game on the first shot of the third period.
The Sharks getting the Couture, Marleau, and Wingels lineout. They've been the most effective line for the Sharks tonight. They have 9. Those 3 players have 9 of 15 shots.
Burns' stick explodes. The puck deflected to Marleau, and he can't get a shot away. That almost turned out not so bad. As Thornton ranges back to center with it now, and he'll self-pass on the near boards, but the linesman was there combined with the defender, and Thornton couldn't get in. The Wild, though, send it the length of the ice. So after the Sharks hit a crossbar earlier, here's a post for Zucker.
This is Zucker, left-handed shot, just a quick release. Wow, what a shot. Zucker's got points now in 4 straight. He's got an assist. Braun all over him there, too. Nice shot by Zucker. Goaltender's best friend is the goalpost. Sharks hit, what, three posts and a crossbar last game, so the hockey gods looking down on them early in the third period here in Minnesota. Returning the favor.
Hertl, Pavelski, and Thornton together again. Hertl was off this line for a shift or two earlier in the game. And Barclay Goodrow got a chance to play up with Thornton and Pavelski.
Just send him a little message.
That pass intended for Thornton got away. And now the Wild trying to get this game tied after they really took over the second period, but the Sharks still were able to emerge with the lead. Parisi behind the net. Granlund leans back, but he fanned on it. And now a good stick by Pavelski. Gets it out. He's got Thornton with him. Joe Pavelski to Thornton. He shoots and he scores! Joe Thornton! A huge goal here in the third.
Well, Joe Thornton coming in tonight had 23 shots this year. He only had 12 last year after 11 games. That's almost double. And his 24th. And we're going to see the replay. It's Burns that breaks up the play. He gets his stick, a turnover, Pavelski head up, and an absolutely perfect pass by Joe Pavelski over to Joe Thornton. The Joes make it 3-1 Sharks. Thornton ends up rifling that short side, top corner. And if you look at the Minnesota Wild, they didn't have their sticks on the ice. That's habits and details. Two great stick plays by the Sharks, Burns and Pavelski. Set that up.
Yeah, the Joes combined. We might rename that the not ordinary Joes line, because that was extraordinary. Pavelski to Thornton. Burns ought to pick up an assist. They haven't given him one yet. They might add it. But it's 3-1 as Thornton scores his third of the year at 1:37 here in the third period. And now Suter comes ahead 3-on-2 for Minnesota. Pominville to Parisi, back to Pominville. Got it settled at the side, Granlund, but the pass cut off by Braun.
Good back check by Chris Tierney.
Parisi on the wing, and a shot to the net by Spurgeon save. Well, we're going to make this shot by Joe Thornton our Ram shot of the game.
Oh, what a pass. Delicious. Oh, and that puck was rolling on him. That puck, we didn't see that from the other angle, and rolled on him, and he far side top corner.
And that
Joe hamming it up at the lines. He goes, I know, I got another goal.
And he
I'm
got
hot.
And he got another point, and that ties him, as we showed you earlier, with Vinny Damphousse on the all-time list.
Third goal of the year for Joe Thornton.
Now Goodrow out with Burish and Desjardins, as Andrew Desjardins has it behind the net to Barclay Goodrow, playing in his first NHL game. Brodziak, Goodrow on the back check, but the puck's away and up the ice. And this is Scandella scampering through center. Back for Brodziak. He'll punch it deep. Vanek back to the point, and the save by Niemi on the blast from Dumba. And here is that list of career point leaders all time. And now a tie. Two Sharks. Shark alum Vinny Damphousse and Joe Thornton at 1,205 and counting. And won't be long, Joe will catch and pass Bobby Clarke too.
Just all-stars, Hall of Famers. It's all great players now. Tied for 44th all-time in the history of this league. We just keep watching them march up the charts. It's amazing stuff. What a pass from Pavelski. Great shot by Thornton on a rolling puck.
That Pavelski pass was Thornton-like.
Yes, it was.
Shot from the line, and then the follow by Koivu just missed. This is Coyle. Back for Suter. He'll load up. And that's through traffic off the net to Spurgeon. Centering feed, and Niemi with a good stick there. Picked off the pass from Zucker and covers.
Good habits by the San Jose Sharks here in the third period. We've seen them with their sticks on the ice, and Niemi with the latest example or showcasing good habits. Sharks getting in the lane. Tommy Wendels, Brent Burns heading off the ice. Started his career here in Minnesota. Loves coming back.
Sellout crowd here in the XL Energy Center tonight. 18,633. And they don't call this the state of hockey for nothing. Great support as Spurgeon's shot is punched away by Niemi. Here's Pavelski and Thornton again come across center, 2-on-2. Joining the rush is Vlasic. Let the puck taken away by Koivu. Now Vlasic will hustle back. Spurgeon, and he's checked down by Pavelski.
Wow, Pavelski playing a little D there and with a big hit. He's doing it all here in the third period.
Thornton carries the give for Braun. He's wide against Suter, shoots, and the save by Kemper. Out to Coyle, and Suter re-attacks. Koivu's going to take a look before that puck comes to him, but he ends up giving it to Demers behind the net. Good hustle by Parisi coming in to try and get it back. Actually, it's Fontaine. And now Fontaine back in front. Niemi makes the save. Still loose. Fontaine again. And Niemi dives out to get it.
Well, they called Joe Pavelski the Swiss Army knife. Look at this defense, pivots, finishes his check. Got in a fight a couple of games ago. And that shot went off the rear end of Demers as the Justin Braun clear and came back, and Niemi to the rescue, ended up covering it up.
37 saves tonight for Niemi. As you look at Pavelski, 3 of his 5 goals this year on the power play. And right now, the Sharks with a power play goal and a 2-goal lead in this one.
He's usually got some family and friends that make the drive from Wisconsin over here to enemy territory in Minnesota.
I'm going to check my online map to see how far it is from St. Paul to Plover, Wisconsin. Scandella and Niemi with the blocker out. Here's Burish, another Wisconsin alum.
He and Pavelski won a national championship while they were Badgers.
Goodrow. Dumba working on him as that shot whipped by Desjardins off a stick wide and behind the net. Burns knocks it down with his glove. He tried to feed Desjardins in the neutral zone, but it was bouncing around. Now the Sharks will change up as Scandella waits for the same thing to happen on the Minnesota side. These teams will play again December 11th in San Jose. Next up, here's Vanek, and they score! Tipped in by Kyle Brodziak, and it's a 1-goal game again, 3-2.
Well, a bad change by the Sharks. And that's tic-tac-toe right there. You see it right here in the neutral zone. Brodziak just tips it strong side support. Vanek wide open in the slot area, high slot. And Brodziak is a right-handed shot. San Jose let him enter the zone, drop the pass, and then go right to the front of the net. And that's a miscue by the San Jose Sharks. You can see Wingels there. There's a switch between Wingels and Mueller. Mueller's got to drop down and take Brodziak in that situation. Or vice versa, or Wingels. One of them, they got to sort it out. They didn't.
That's Brodziak's first goal of the year. The assists go to Vanek and Fontaine at 5:13. And the Wild get back to within a goal on their 40th shot of the game.
There's the zone entry. And you can see Brodziak just goes through. No one picks him up. And that's just that's going back to the neutral zone, and Jay Woodcroft was talking about the Sharks managing the puck in the neutral zone, but they allowed them with too much speed there.
Tomas Hertl now for the Sharks. Back to the point. Vlasic a shot, a double deflection. And the goaltender Kemper doesn't have a goal stick. He's lost it. Sharks would love to get a shot to the net here. Thornton does try, but it hits a skate. One of the defensemen might be better off to give him a stick, the goalie. Gets his glove on this, and it is Pavelski keeping it alive now for the Sharks. Thornton back to the point. Vlasic to Braun. They've got to get a puck to the net. That one's wide. Koivu up for Coyle, and they will get out of trouble. Minnesota will. There was a good 30 seconds there when Kemper didn't have a stick. Now Brodziak. The Wild trying to build on the 3-2 goal and get it tied. Sharks trying to dig back in here and hold their lead on the road in a building where they've dropped 6 in a row in the regular season. And it's pretty much gone the other way when the Wild have been in San Jose. The home team
has been a homer series.
Yeah, it has dominated in this series, winning 15 of the last 16 meetings. Couture wanted Barlow, and that pass didn't get through. Patrick has to tag up to get onside. Just over 13 left here in the third. Sharks are being outshot 40-18.
That was a good bounce-back shift, though, by the Joe Thornton line after the Sharks gave up the second goal.
For tonight, the Sharks had outshot the opponent 6 games in a row. That'll be a tall order now. Chris Tierney chasing it down. He takes a look. Shepard trying to get to the net. Tierney's backhander off the outside of the cage. Vanek rims it around, but Mueller's there. Behind the net, and a centering feed for Nieto, saved by Kemper. That's his best save of the period. As Scandella dives to clear it. Mueller turns back toward his own end. Lots of traffic. And now Mirko Mueller able to get to it again for the Sharks. They lead 3-2 here in the third. Right now fighting it a bit. Up to Burish. He's checked by Prosser. Pominville. And now played across to this side. Suter for Parisi. Justin Braun back. He will bank it perfectly to his partner Vlasic. Up for Goodrow. Barclay Goodrow takes the pass. Goodrow shoots. Kemper the save. Goodrow didn't get much on that. Now back at the line is Desjardins. He'll send it in. This will get through to Kemper. He'll freeze it with Goodrow right in front of the net. Right now, the goal by Joe Thornton. The difference in this one. Sharks up 3-2.
Serve up a tasty cup of Joe. Joe to Joe. Starts off with a little communication. Joe Pavelski, bottom hand, slides up the shaft of his stick a little bit. That's a passing. He's in pass mode all the way. Head up. Just a nice dish over to Joe Thornton. Goes far side, top corner. And you get some nice smiles. You get communication, a great pass, a great shot, and a nice big smile. Thornton gets his third goal of the season.
Which took him 24 games deep into last year. So that, again, speaks in part to your noting his tendency to shoot the puck a little bit more, and that's resulting in Joe getting on the scoreboard more often earlier in the season than last.
Well, he becomes less predictable if he starts shooting a little bit more. Because a lot of times teams, they play the pass. They'll, you know, if the Sharks are in the offensive zone, they'll send 1 or 2 guys over towards Pavelski, almost goading Thornton into passes.
Here's Niederreiter. Now from behind the net, Zach Parisi, and the blast by Scandella hit Thornton. And that drops Joe Thornton as he blocked that shot, and it stung, and he gets his stick on another shot by Scandella.
How's that for leadership right
Boy,
there?
that is great effort by Joe Thornton. You know he's hurting right now. Another one off the backboards. Here's Thornton again as it comes through the front of the goal mouth. Punched ahead by Prosser. Hannon there. Hurdle, and he will get it out as Thornton gets one more touch on the puck before he gets to the San Jose bench. Joe blocked a shot in Anaheim too, and he was hurting the other night. You knew it on Tuesday in Colorado, but he toughed it out, had a great game, and you saw there as he's on the bench right now. Just hope it wasn't in the same area as that shot he blocked the other night, because that has just got to be brutal. Well, catch 3 amazing Sharks games with the Sharks Territory 3-pack. You save big with this deal, and you get access to the Sharks-Boston game on December 4th. And not only do you get the tickets to 3 games with the 3-pack, you also get a Sharks draft hat. Go to sjsharks.com/tickets for more info on the 3-pack. Sharks would like to make this a 3-pack on the road. 3 wins.
Tough road trip too. In Anaheim, in Colorado. They don't look as good as they did last year, but still a tough place to play, and got to deal with the altitude. And then here in Minnesota,
Varlamov looked as good as he did last year.
Oh man,
he stole that point for them. Nice play here by Marleau. Gets it across. Sharks onside. Kachura shot. Kemper the glove save. Now Wingels getting into it with Zucker. Zucker just punched him. And now the linesmen's jump in. Sharks with the lead. Under 10 to go here in the third.
leadership by example. Starts with back checking. Good habit, stick on stick. Blocking shots. Looked like he got shot there. what's he do? He gets up. He's in a, look at it. You can tell he's in pain. Look at that. He gets up and deflects that puck. And you've got young guys on your team. Hurdle, Nieto, Tierney, Goodrow. Hope those guys are watching Joe Thornton. Pay the price. It's not all about what he does in the other end. That's the guy that has the go-ahead goal right now. He is in a huge amount of pain. He'll be back out there.
Never seen Joe not play through the pain. He is just so consistently there as Tierney has his shot go wide, picked up out of the corner now. Shepherd leaving it for Nieto. Now Nieto pulls the trigger and it deflects off the defenseman wide.
I tell you, Hurdle can start take a lesson on how to block some shots because he's been getting out of the way of it.
Here's an odd man rush and they score! Brodziak again, and the game is tied.
San Jose coming into tonight at 16 third period goals against, the second most in the league. Buffalo was at 18, 17. Well, Sharks now lead the NHL in third period goals against. Not a stat that you want to have. That's Mirko Mueller losing his man on the third goal, and you're going to see some mistakes with young players.
The same combination, Vanek to Brodziak. They have 2 goals here in this period together, and they have tied this game.
And that's just a great pass again by Vanek. Backhand pass. Brodziak, he scored both his goals on basically the identical spot, and they're both redirect goals, and we got a tie game.
Here's Scandella, and the Wild want to lead, and here they come. On the right wing, Pominville pumps it just wide. Granlund slows down Pavelski, puck gets away, and back now for Marco Scandella.
You got to remember this Minnesota team came back last game from 3 unanswered goals, their last game in Boston, to win in the third period. So Sharks have to be ready. Second key tonight, focus for 60 minutes.
Vanek and Prosser with the assists on that goal by Brodziak. Here's Pavelski, can't get the shot away. Braun will keep it alive around the net. Marleau releasing. Pavelski out front, and he had Couture going to the net. It didn't get through to him. The Wild get those 2 Brodziak goals 5 minutes and 19 seconds apart to erase a 2-goal deficit. Wingle, Marleau, and now Couture. Logan off the boards with it. Back behind the net. Wingles trying to get there. He couldn't. Marleau back for Wingles, and now he's got to step on Koivu. Throws it out to the point. Hannon sends it back around. And that puck caught Tommy Wingles in the face. Dumba just trying to clear. Hopefully it hit his shield. It got him up on the nose. And hopefully no worse for the wear.
Hopefully he's got a mouthpiece in there. I don't know, might got him right, nose, mouth. You can see he's got a little Band-Aid over his left eye. Well, getting into the season now, aren't we? Blocking shots. You got all these games. You know, you're playing as many games as the Sharks have recently. Now Tommy Wingles is going to go back for a little look. And it's not fun. Saw Joe Thornton paying the price. Tommy Wingles. Got 2 of the goal scorers have banged up here in the third period. One was a slap shot. Thornton blocked. There he is. Wingles in, getting a look.
Well,
It's part of the job description. I got to tell you, it's not fun though. These guys are earning their money tonight.
Sharks' 4th line on. Here's Burish with Desjardins and Goodrow. Desjardins behind the net. Sends it back at the point to Mers. And that was blocked initially by Bayou. Now the Sharks have to get back quickly. Carter, Goodrow there. He can't get hold of it. Wild with the puck. It's Fault at the point. That's blocked by Burish. Off Desjardins' stick, it'll go down the ice. Sharks will get a change. Shots are 42-22 in favor of Minnesota. Again, no icing. Vlasic with time. Vanek in the zone. And over to Justin Braun. Sharks goals tonight from Mueller, Wingles, and Thornton. Wild goals, 2 for Brodziak and the other for Koivu.
Both Brodziaks here in the third period.
Vanek set both up with the primary assist. And there's a breakdown, and the Wild up at center. Taken back by Thornton now, his first shift since that shot clock. And he drives it back in as deep as he can.
Yeah, you know he's playing in pain right now. The play's just gotten sloppy here the last few minutes.
Marleau. Quickly Vanek on this side of the ice. Parisi heads for the net. There's the pass. And well defended by Mueller that time. Fontaine bumps Marleau. And Patrick will give it to Mueller.
Wingo's back out there. Good to see.
Tommy with a touch of it there, but it drops back for Falk on the blue line.
Help him, reverse it!
Burns. Falk keeps it in. Back down for Granlund. Burns gives him a shove. Pominville up top. Off the boards. Might have been with intent there by Prosser. Burns wants it out of the zone, and it will get to Tierney. Now Shepard for Nieto. Matt Nieto in the corner takes the hit. Tierney comes across. He'll get it in front, and that deflects off Nieto's skate. Hannon, and jammed deep by Shepard. Under 5.5 left in the third now in a 3-3 game.
Yeah, short shifts here for the Sharks, which is really smart. We haven't had a whistle in a little while.
Stretch pass that got through Coyle's skates. Niemi. Hannon, and just touched enough by Desjardins. Comes out as Coyle looking for the quick re-entry with Zucker. Zucker moves past Demers, who stumbled. Now Hannon against Zucker. Demers for Desjardins, and Zucker got in the way of that. Suter deflected by Goodrow. Lots of activity in front of the net with Coyle there for Minnesota. Desjardins with the high touch as he comes into the Wild zone. It's a tie game here in the third period on Comcast Sportsnet California. Thank you, Andrea. Time for our Toyota game summary. If you joined us partway through, let's get you caught up on all the goals. First period, Mirko Mueller. This is going to be the first goal of his NHL career as he finds an opening. And then Tommy Wingels on the power play, and the Sharks had a 2-0 lead early in the second. Mikko Koivu gets one back there on the pass from Zucker, but Joe Thornton on a beautiful feed from Pavelski made it 3-1 here in the third. Then 2 goals by Kyle Brodziak, both set up by Thomas Vanek, that one there, and then 5:19 later, Vanek to Brodziak, and that's where we stand right now, tied at 3 with 4:48 left to go.
Well, Brodziak's out there. He's going to be, you know, he's gunning to go to the front of the net with his stick on the ice.
Braun trying to dump it deep, but it was gobbled up by the Wild in the neutral zone. Out front, and now Thornton will give for Pavelski. Takes it off the boards backhand, out there with Hurdle. Goes across the ice to Vlasic, and his shot deflects out of play. Well, a reminder to join us immediately following this contest for Esurance Sharks Postgame Live. Brody Brazil and Curtis Brown. Brett Hedican also joining us from here in Minnesota. Hetty, also a native of the state of hockey.
Just, you walk around this rink, it's just, how'd he do with him? Hey, he knows everybody here. Won a Stanley Cup with Carolina, but very popular guy here, 2-time Olympian, and they know their hockey in Minnesota.
And when he won the cup with the Hurricane, he brought the cup back here to Minnesota, to his hometown, took it to his rink where he grew up playing in his high school. Shot saved by Kemper. Now Charlie Coyle. Rink-wide pass for Koivu, intercepted by Burns, but it does not come out. It hit the linesman's skate. Coyle's going to get to this first in the corner. Bumped by Mueller. Back to the point. Prosser wide. Marleau trying to send himself up ice, but it was again denied by Minnesota. Now Coyle takes it, moves into the zone against Mueller. Coyle going to circle the net. Coyle against Mueller again, got him spun around, but good support by the Sharks. They get it free, get it out, and now Nieto trying to get through, but Prosser able to get there first and prevent a breakaway chance for Matt Nieto. Jason Demers, he's got Tierney, but he's offside.
Well, Sharks gap control, not great on that last shift. Both Burns and Mueller they didn't join the rush, and because of that, Coyle had a free entry into the zone. And Todd McLellan, Jay Woodcroft talking about something, not sure what it is. Sharks are kind of hanging on here, end of a road trip. It's been a very good one so far, 3-3. Hey, we had to go to the extra session and shootout last game. We may see the same here tonight.
Suter and Brodziak there. Tierney sweeps it away.
Good battle by Tierney there. Good second effort.
Vanek heads for the net. Fontaine goes across to the blue line. Broken stick for Scandella. Now the Sharks trying to take advantage. Hannon unfortunately had the puck hit that broken blade, and it broke up his advancement. Now Shepard. Oh, and he just missed. He slams his stick down to the ice. After that shot went high. James Shepard. Boy, would he have loved to get that one here against his old club. Braun for Thornton to Pavelski. On to Tomas Hertl. He'll send it in. Hertl against Prosser. Good play by Prosser over to Falk. And kept in by the Sharks, but now back out again. And Vlasic will get it deep. Sharks change up behind the play. Falk goes for Granlund. He's got some speed coming into the San Jose zone. Mikael Granlund, and that's just wide. Rims all the way to center. Suter's going to back away. Take his time as Parisi goes off on a change. Back for Ryan Suter now. 2 minutes to go in the third. Vlasic. That's going to come back icing. This line just came on for the Sharks, so they should be all right.
I was just going to say that. Faceoff's going to be to the left of Niemi. He's had a good workman-like game, I think, Barclay Goodrow. You're a little nervous. Your first NHL game. And he has not had the advantage of really practicing because there hasn't been many practices. There's been so many games, it's been morning skates.
Off the face-off, here's Suter. Loads up, shoots wide. Scandella's going to keep it in for the Wild. Down to Coyle behind the net. Back for Coyle again. Burns on him. Charlie Coyle. Good play by Goodrow to break up the pass. Now Coyle trying to advance it along the boards, but Goodrow gets to it, and he pushes it clear. Good shift for the rookie.
And just a great job by Barclay Goodrow. Talk about second efforts, winning battles. Coaches will love that. They'll see that on video. That was an important play, too.
Offside are the Wild with 1:15 left.
Well, Todd McLellan and the coaching staff loved the way this team played in Colorado. Even though Colorado had some chances later in the game, I think fatigue was a little bit of a factor. It was the 7th game in 11 nights for the Sharks. There's his Barclay Goodrow. There's his career in the Ontario Hockey League.
You know, he went to 3 other NHL camps as well, developmental camps, with Carolina, the Rangers, and Detroit over the years. Just didn't stick. But you talk about sticking with it. Oh, amazing.
Perseverance.
Here's Wingles. He's going to have it drop his way. Kemper the save. Rebound, and Marleau can't get there in time. Tommy Wingles had the game on his stick. Tried to go 5-hole. Kemper shut the door. Under 50 to go.
Talk about sticking with it. That's exactly what Wingles did there and got a great scoring chance for the Sharks.
And they'll get another here maybe. Couture skates in, poked away. Brodziak up for Vanek. He'll skate in, and it's taken away by Vlasic. Sharks top D pair there of Braun and Vlasic defending against Thomas Vanek. Nice maneuver by Thornton. Trying to win it here in regulation. Joe Thornton with a shot. And the rebound taken away by Parisi. Wild have time here if they can get it in. Braun comes across, slaps it up to Thornton, and it's back out of the zone. Fired in by Minnesota, and we are headed to overtime here in St. Paul. So a 2-goal third period by Kyle Brodziak brings the Wild back. Sharks get at least a point out of this. As we look at Wingles' chance, and Kemper shut the door.
Oh, that's just a good effort by Tommy Wingles. He's got a goal, a power play goal.
We will step aside. They'll do a dry cut here at XL Energy Center. 3-3 overtime is next. Burns and Justin Braun lending an ear to the Hall of Famer.
Yep, he's probably talking about the defensive zone. Brent Burns, there's been 6 goals scored, and Brent Burns has been on the ice for all 6 goals. Now he's -1 because one of them was a power play goal. Mirko Mueller, he's been on the ice tonight for 5 goals. He's been on for both the even strength goals for the Sharks and all 3 of the Minnesota goals. And that was Larry Robinson there. Talking to Brent Burns. And Brent Burns, we know he likes to fly around the ice and everything, but Mirko Mueller's still breaking into the NHL. You can't expect Mueller to cover for Burns all the time. And a couple of those goals they'll talk about, sort out the defensive zone, but boy, they're contributing at the other end too.
So here we go with 4-on-4 overtime, 5 minutes of it if needed. Todd McClellan sends out Couture and Wingles to start overtime with Burns and Mueller on the back end. Mike Yeo, head coach of the Wild. He'll go with Mikko Koivu and Jason Pominville. And the defenders are Ryan Suter and a forward, Jason Zucker. So he's going with 3 forwards and a defenseman. Yeo is. And the defenseman's a good one, Suter. Here he is now. We're underway in overtime. Koivu with speed. And the shot to the net, saved by Niemi.
Yeah, this is interesting. Minnesota going with 3 forwards. San Jose changing up 4 guys right away. Only 14 seconds, but fatigue becoming a little bit of a factor. Been playing a lot of hockey early in this year. A lot of travel.
Burrish comes out with Pavelski. I'm thinking Todd McClellan wants 2 centers there. D-zone face-off here early in this overtime period.
Linesman sorting out.
Pominville, and he had that one go off the toe of his stick. Zucker chased out of the zone. Here's Suter again. A long pass and no icing. Zucker trying to get by Vlasic. Braun's there, plays it up the boards for Nieto. Nieto wants Pavelski, just let him a little too far with the pass.
Vlasic, just so strong. Great job in the defensive zone. He's +7, first on the team this year. He's playing against the other team's top lines every night.
Parisi, Scandella, and Niemi makes the save. Loose in front, and Parisi fanned on it, a bouncing puck as Joe Thornton will work it up ice to Marleau. On to Mueller's stick, explodes off it a little bit. He gets through. Mueller's still with it now, and he'll play it for Thornton along the near boards. Joe chips for Marleau. Marleau brings it out from behind the line along the near side boards to Thornton. Joe, and that pass broken up by Scandella. He gets it ahead for Parisi. Parisi's got a man open. It's Dumba, and he falls trying to kick it off that back skate. Marleau again, alone, waits for help, and he's got Hannon, but he backhanded it out of the zone. Couture works his way past Granlund. Logan to Hannon. Save, rebound, and a save by Kemper on Patrick Marleau's backhander.
Well, I don't know if Marleau got everything on it, but that was a great save by Kemper. And we've seen a couple of dandy saves here in this overtime. There's one by Niemi, bobbling puck, couldn't get it. Logan Couture does a good job in the neutral zone. Nice pass, there's the shot. Nice rebound, Kemper was right there. Yeah, maybe he didn't have to swing the arm up that much, but a little theatrics is good in overtime. And it stays knotted up at 3.
And now it's Suter turning out of his zone, pursued by Couture, but he gets the puck away to Koivu. Koivu trying to get it past Vlasic to Suter, who's in the corner now. Up this side of the boards for Thomas Vanek. Vanek engineering the comeback with 2 assists on the Brodziak goals. Suter. Braun leans on him. Justin Braun trying to get it for the Sharks. Here's Pominville. Loads up. Koivu, the save by Niemi. Rebound controlled by Braun. Lost it on the back check from Vanek, but then he chopped it back out. Pominville. And Braun activates. He'll get it around, but Prosser will reach it first for Minnesota. Checked by Wingels. Comes out Wild with it. Scandella rims it all the way around. Prosser, and that'll drop for Vlasic in the corner, and he'll send it back to Braun.
Wingels is just gassed. So good job by Braun and Vlasic to control the puck down low.
Awkward change there by the Sharks results in an icing call against them. But fortunately, it comes after the change.
Well, that was Nieto. He didn't want to touch the pucks. He wasn't sure if Wingels was over on the bench. And you can see how tired he is. So that was actually a heads-up play. You don't want the icing at this time. We're going to get a timeout from San Jose, and that's because of the Vlasic and Braun have been out there for a little while. It's not because of the forwards.
You're right.
And with 2:06, they can sort out what they want to do on this defensive zone faceoff. You have the timeout. You might as well use it.
Next game comes up to you on Saturday night as the New York Islanders visit for their one and only appearance this year. They're leading the Metropolitan Division right now. 7 o'clock Sharks pregame live, and then all the action at 7:30 here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Starts a 2-game homestand for the Sharks. They'll conclude that homestand a week from tonight against the Vancouver Canucks.
Well, that'll be a good game on Saturday. And after that, the Sharks get a little bit of a break. Well-deserved, much-needed break. They don't play until the following Thursday. Sure, Sunday will be a day off. They'll get back, get some practices under their belt before they play Vancouver on a week from today, and then they hit the road. 7 games in 11 nights, all on the road.
Here we go. 2:06 to go in the overtime as Pavelski stands in against Justin Fontaine. Off the draw, it's steered into the corner by Braun. Pavelski's there too. Now Nieto. And he'll play it up and out to center. Sharks trying to get a little deeper to get Vlasic and Braun off. Here's a chance for Parise, and he falls going to the net. Vlasic has Pavelski. He'll gain the line. The pass for Nieto off the mark, and Granlund gets it back for Minnesota, but the Sharks get that D change they needed. Burns and Mueller out there now defending. Here's Mikael Granlund. He weaves his way in. Granlund shoots, blocked by Mueller. Burns, he'll go into the corner. Comes out in front. Parise was all alone on that pass out of the corner from Pominville.
Sharks dodged a bullet there. That was a...
Behind the play, Thornton and Parise going at it. Meanwhile, at the other end, Burns, it's in the net. They're waving it off, as I think they're saying the net came off first, but the puck crossed the goal line.
Well, I didn't see what happened at the other end, but Thornton and Zach Parise were going at it. Meanwhile, Burns comes down, goes around Pominville, who's a forward, and are they going to go do a little video review?
I think they will, because Burns forced that puck in. The question is, where was the net? Let's look at it overhead.
There's Burns. There's the net.
It's the puck. I think the puck's in before the net's off.
So do I. Well, this is going to be interesting. The NHL, real-time NHL, they're taking a look back in Toronto.
Could this be the winning goal by Burns?
Could it be Brent Burns in Minnesota? His old team. He's been on for 6. He's been on for all 6 goals. Why not the 7th? There's Kemper up against that left post. You're going to see the puck.
Clearly it's crossed the line there.
Well, you can't tell if the net's off, but...
And a reminder, there's multiple angles here. That is not the only one. We've already seen a couple. And then there are angles available on the Wild telecast as well. And there ought to be a net cam too, right? And that's the one that the league installs. So there are multiple looks at this, not just what we're seeing.
I think you're right, Randy. I think the net cam would be the one cam that could capture whether the puck crossed before the net, the post, left the mooring.
Mike Yeo must have video there on the bench that they're looking at on a pad.
On an iPad or something, yep.
Meanwhile, the Situation Room in Toronto aggressively looking at this. They've got a team of people on this to check this out and make sure that this game didn't end on that play.
Brent Burns, by the way, has a 3-game goal scoring streak, the longest in his career.
Here's the announcement.
The call on the ice stands. The puck goes in after the contact with Burns from San Jose, therefore there's no goal.
So they're saying the contact with the goaltender negated the play because the puck went in after that.
Well, I was staring at the wrong thing the whole time. I was staring at the post.
Yeah.
So that's the second goal that they've said has been disallowed for the Sharks. Jason Demers scored early in the first period. They said there was goaltender interference and Logan Couture coming through. And Todd McClellan rightfully he's looking for...
The referees tonight are Kyle Raymond and Brad Meyer. Brian Mock and Brian Pansich are the linesmen, and the video goal judge is Ian Sandercock. And they were all involved in that conversation with the Situation Room in Toronto.
Nope, the Situation Room, they might have different looks than we saw. That was close.
Here's a stretch pass up the middle. Parisi shoots. Niemi with the save. Wow, right off the face-off, the Wild go for it with their go-to player.
There's the pass. There's Parise. Braun plays him perfect. Niemi comes out, takes away the angle, makes an easy save. There's a nice look from behind the net. That's a good defensive play by Braun, boxing him out right at the end. Good save by Niemi. Good anticipatory save by Niemi. He came out. He knew that Parise, there's no point in staying deep in your net. He wasn't gonna be moving any closer. Come out, take away the angle.
Final minute now of overtime. It's Thornton at center. He'll gain the zone. Drops for Marleau. Patrick shoots. He went top corner, missed. Back to Braun. Back to Vlasic. He waits, fires through the middle, hoping for a Marleau tip. Here's Thornton. Vlasic can't get there in time, but he's able to play it back around to Joe Thornton. Just over half a minute left here. Marleau, and it's poked off him, and the Sharks had too many men on the ice. Thornton for Mueller. Mirko tacks the net, shoots, saved by Kemper. It drops for Suter. Suter to Pominville. Pominville to Koivu. Back for Pominville. Pominville drops it for Vanek. He got through Thornton. Vanek skates around the net. Vanek still with it. Time running down. 1 second left, and he leaves it on the boards, and we go to a shootout.
Vanek was not aware of how much time was left in the clock. His clock management was poor, and because of it, they don't get a late scoring chance for the Wild.
Now Thornton and Koivu exchanging words. I'm not sure what the genesis of that is.
That's twice in this overtime. Thornton's had a little skirmish with a couple of the leaders. Look at him. He's challenging Koivu. Koivu will have nothing to do with that, if he's smart.
Has there been in the NHL yet a fight in between overtime and the shootout? Don't know. That's a great question. So, after the disallowed goal to Burns, the Sharks just finish overtime, avoiding a Parise goal. Here's the shootout from Tuesday. Marleau ends up with that goal. That's all they would need. This was icing as Pavelski. That was a perfect shot, bar down. And then Niemi with the save off Duchesne to win it. And that gave the Sharks 2 points and a second straight win on this trip. Now they'll try to get win number 3 here in the shootout.
This is the first time the Minnesota Wild have gone to any situation that's beyond regulation, overtime or the shootout. Sharks are 2-1 in the shootout.
The goaltenders are set, and it looks like Mike Yeo, the home coach, is going to decide that he will shoot first, and it will be Parise. So here we go with the shootout. Niemi was perfect Tuesday. We'll see how he fares here against the Wild. And Barisi shot it wide.
And goal for Minnesota, number 35, Darcy Kemper.
That's 6 shots against Niemi so far this year in the shootout. And he's 6 for 6.
Logan Couture is going to step up for the Sharks.
He's 1 for 1 this year in the shootout.
And here's Couture. Scores! He got it through the 5-hole. And the Sharks lead the shootout 1-0.
Snuck it through the 5-hole. That's how Marleau scored his first shootout goal last one. There it is. Just trickles in. Little arm pump for Logan Couture.
Now the captain, Koivu. And he'll look to tie here. And he does. Whoa, what a beauty. Top shelf backhand. And we're 1-1 now.
Hey, we'll give credit where credit is due. That's a nice goal. Little move from the forehand to the backhand and just roofs it. Joe Pavelski. 2 for 3 in the shootouts this year. 1 game deciding goal. Got a chance to put the Sharks up 2-1.
Looks at big Darcy Kemper. And here comes Pavelski. And Kemper the save.
A lot of times Pavelski, when he gets to the hash marks, which are a little bigger this year, he puts the brakes on and slows down, tries to get the goalie to move back in a bit, but he keeps his speed this time, tries to go far side, just misses. Good save by Kemper. I think it went off his back.
Jason Pominville. Got pretty good career numbers in the shootout. Here he goes to try and give Minnesota the lead. And he does. Nice shot. And 2-1 Minnesota.
Right-handed shot, comes down nice and slow, just picks it. Just over the bat, under the glove, 2-1 Minnesota.
So Marleau must score here to extend the shootout.
That's exactly right.
Patrick 1 for 2 this year. At 1 goal on Tuesday. Here he goes. And Minnesota wins the game.
I think content is the word the San Jose Sharks will have. Had a 2-1 lead heading into the third period against a good team. Then 3-1, squandered that lead. They go home with 1 point. 5 out of 6 points for the Sharks on this road trip. I'd call that a good, real successful trip.
Final score from here in St. Paul in a shootout. The Wild win at 4-3. Sharks post-game live starts right now.